Alan Finger said, yoga adds years to your life and life to your years. During this sequence, I invite you to set an intention for your practice, something that resonates with you. Maybe today you want to focus on your breath, or you want to practice with loving kindness and non-judgment. Maybe you want to practice pushing yourself a little deeper and further and harder into each pose. Or maybe today is a better day to be a little soft and go easy on your practice. Or something entirely different. Take a couple of breaths here to see what intention resonates with you today. When you've come up with an intention, repeat it to yourself. And come onto the front of your mat. Feet hip distance apart. Inhale your arms up. Soft knees. As you exhale, just hinge at the hips and fold forward. Inhale and come halfway up. Nice flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Place both hands on the mat and come onto all fours. Take just a couple of breaths here. As you inhale, lower your chest and belly towards the mat. As you exhale, reach your spine up, rounding your back like a cat. Inhaling, arch your back. And exhaling, round. Just a couple more times, maybe pausing if one of these shapes really feels good on your body. And then come to a neutral spine. If you're at the front of the mat, walk your hands and knees back so your feet are towards the back of your mat. Untuck your toes so the tops of the feet are on the mat, and lower your hips over your heels, stretching your hands forward. Now slowly lift your hips up over your knees, walk your hands forward, and lower right onto your belly. Hands are just light on the mat, tops of the feet pressed into the mat. Push your chest forward and up, and cobra. Slowly lower down, pressing your hands into the mat. Lift back up through tabletop and back to child's pose. Just let your spine round or arch wherever it seems natural as we move through from child's pose. Come up through tabletop and forward onto the mat and into Cobra, Bhujangasana. Move through this. If the movement is what your body needs, just flow from one pose into the next. And if one of these poses resonates with your body, just hang out there for a couple of breaths. Honoring the intention you set for your practice today. And the next time you come through tabletop, pause. And now lift your left knee up to the side, left knee stays bent, left foot flexed. Make small circles with that left knee. Slow circles. Gradually, can you lift the knee higher? Maybe bring it forward. And pause and go the other direction. Lifting the knee up as high as you can, just moving slowly. And now lift the knee up as high as you can and straighten that leg. Foot is flexed. Can you lift it up any higher? Maybe bring it forward. Breathe. Now lower that knee to the mat and let your hips rest to the left. Maybe forward or back for a little gentle stretch. Back to center. And now lift your right knee out to the side. Right knee stays bent, foot is flexed. Make small, slow circles with that right knee, gradually lifting it higher, making the circles bigger. And pause and go the other direction. And now keep that knee lifted as high as you can and straighten that right leg. Can you lift it higher? Can you bring it forward? Pause. And lower that knee. And let your hips hang out to the right for a couple of breaths to stretch that other side. Come on back to center. Come on to your mat. Tuck your toes. Gently lift your knees up off the mat just a couple of inches and hold. Pause. Lift them up a couple more inches and pause. Now slowly lower them down without touching the mat. Lift them back up. Pause. Slowly lower down and just hover above the mat. And now lower them right down. Tuck your toes. Lift your knees up off the mat and walk your feet forward to your hands. Bow forward. As you inhale, think of lifting your hips up a little higher. Exhale, offer. Invite your body to fold a little more deeply. Inhale, rise to standing, arms up over your head. Exhale, palms together. Let your hands rest by your side. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold. Breathe here. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold. Place both hands on the mat. Step your right foot back behind you. Soften the hips towards the mat. Lower that right knee to the mat. Inhaling, reach your arms up. Send your hips forward. Lower your hands to the mat. Tuck the right toes. Lift that knee up and step that foot forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, palms together and fold. Placing your hands on the mat, now step your left foot straight back behind you. Soften the hips towards the mat. Now let that left knee lower. Inhale, reach your arms up and send your hips forward. Lower both hands to the mat. Tuck the left toes. Lift that left knee up and step the left foot forward. Exhale, fold. Inhaling, engage the core to slowly rise to standing, arms up. Exhale, palms together. Lower your arms. Inhale, lift your arms up. Soft knees, straight spine. Exhale, fold. Breathe here. Inhaling, come halfway up. Exhale, fold. Place both hands on the mat. Spread your fingers wide. Wrist creases are parallel to the front of the mat. Step back to plank pose. Breathe. Pause here. As you exhale, lift your hips up and back to Adho Mukha Svanasana. Pause. Repeat your intention you set for the practice. On your next exhale, come forward to plank pose. Elbows in, and slowly lower down to the mat. Place the tops of the feet on the mat. Look straight ahead to send your chest forward and up. Slowly lower down. Press your hands into the mat. Tuck your toes. Lift up and back to downward facing dog. Now we're going to come forward into plank pose and come into side plank. If you prefer, you can stay in plank pose or try side plank. On your next exhale, come forward to plank pose. Pause here with knees on or off the mat. If you're coming into side plank, roll onto the sole of your left foot. Right leg can stay above your left leg or right foot in front. And reach your right arm up. Lower that hand and foot back down. Pause here. Now roll onto the sole of the right foot. Left foot can step in front or left leg straight. And reach your left arm up. And lower your hand and foot back down. Pause here. Lift your hips up and back to downward facing dog. Breathe here and pause. Think of lifting your hips higher. Take the weight out of your hands. Come forward to plank pose and lower down to the mat. Place the tops of the feet on the mat and lift forward and up in cobra. Elbows close to your rib cage. Hands are just resting. Slowly lower down, tuck your toes. Pressing your hands into the mat, lift up to downward facing dog. Just stretch it out here. Breathe. Look past your hands and walk your feet forward to your hands. As you inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to standing, arms up. Exhale, palms together. Release your hands. We'll finish the sequence with a balancing pose. We'll come into dancing Shiva. Arms in an L-shaped position. Make a circle with each thumb and first finger. Place your right foot firmly on the mat and bend that right knee. Lift your left knee up, flex that left foot, and bring the left ankle past the standing leg without touching it so it's in front. Bend the standing knee. Breathe. Option to turn your gaze to the left. Come on back to center. Lower your foot and lower your arms. Bring your arms back in cactus arms or L-shaped arms. Make a circle with that thumb and first finger. Now press your left foot firmly into the mat. Left knee slightly bent. Lift your right knee up and flex that foot. Bring the right ankle past the standing leg without touching. If you come out of the pose, don't worry, just try again. Bend your standing knee. Turn to your right. Turn your gaze to the right. Come on back to center. Lower your foot. Release your arms. Take a nice long, slow inhale, reaching your arms up. Bending your knees slightly, straight spine. Long, slow exhale to fold. Just breathe. Inhale, rise to standing. Arms up over your head. Exhale, bring your palms together at your heart center. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.